This is a show about facing fear, unlocking courage, and taking action.
Courage isn't necessarily a daunting thing.
It's going to give you more purpose. It's going to give you more drive.
It feels like making a courageous decision is going to get you closer to who you aspire to be.
It's knowledge plus faith plus action equals courage.
My whole goal was to leave it all out there every single time, and I never wanted to look back up at the hill like I felt like I did in 2018 and think like I had more to give, I had more left in the tank. Every run, I just left my whole heart out on the course.
Is it February already? Like, did we get to February? Are we here already? Can you believe that it's go time?
I know, it's the season the start of the year has already flown by.
All right, but let's this ain't your first rodeo now, right? Like you've seen this, and if I kind of go back down memory lane, and because everyone's like, how are you connected to Jaelin? Like, is she like a third cousin or a distant, family member? And so I go back and share the story how I was very lucky I looked at it as contribution to country. I don't know if I ever shared this with you, but we basically did the rebrand of the U.S. ski and snowboard on spec. We did it because it was our way of like honoring America. Now a lot's changed in the last since we met, and we're not going to make this a political show. But the big takeaway was you had 7 teams under the umbrella of U.S. Ski and Snowboard Association. There wasn't much united about it. Like one team's over here and one team's over there, and we got to sort of run this process. And after 40 years, come up with the new mark to get you all ready for the next 40. And I remember having a chat with Steve Nyman, who you may remember. And Steve actually said to us, it felt like a competitive advantage wearing the mark. He felt faster. I'm like, what else could you ask for? And so it was at the Center of Excellence about 13 years ago, when we got to present with Nike. We got to present the new logo. And then they the association humors you. And it's like, well, you can either go to the bar, or if you want, you could train with the athletes. And I'm like, absolutely want to train with the athletes. And obviously for me, it was training. For you, it was probably like, please humor some of our sponsors as we run them through a few exercises. But you were in my group, and I remember you being quiet. I mean, how old were you then? 19?
Yeah, probably 19, 20, something like that.
Right? You had just come back from your first Olympics. You hadn't shared much with me, and why would you? And I think if it was just that like little humor me, run me through the exercises, we probably never would have kept in touch. It was later that night, we sat next to each other at dinner and discovered that your brother and I went to the same college.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what? And he was in marketing. So I'm like, let me try to help. I don't know how I can help. And who knew 12 years later, we'd be still talking. We'd be working together a little bit here, and we'd be working on Deliver the Love, which I'm so excited for. You pumped?
Yeah, I'm super excited.
And I feel like I'm bearing the lead here, which is in about 10 days from now, you get to go back to representing our country at the Olympics. And for the first time in history, you don't just get 30 seconds, you get a whole minute. You get two events, right? And can you explain why I'm making a 30-second joke and a minute joke?
Yeah, I mean, we've had single moguls in the Olympics since, I think, 92 or something like that was the first Olympics with, I could be wrong on the date, with moguls in it, but so forever for our sport. And on the World Cup circuit and World Championships, we compete in both single moguls and dual moguls. Single moguls being you're skiing the run by yourself. Duals is kind of bracket format, single elimination up against another competitor, side by side. And yeah, this is the first time it's going to be debuted on the Olympic stage, and another medal opportunity for our sport.
All right. I can see you. Most people are listening to this. So I see your energy change when you talk about duels. Why does your energy change?
I mean, it's just such a exciting sport. Like, I've always loved it. Obviously, like, a bit of my thing is like the speed side of it, which is only a part of our score and our sport. But in duels, it can kind of play a bigger role of just the jumps and the turns and all of that still matter. But when you're in the gate next to someone, you're just going to try to beat them down. You're going to try to do everything you can to stay on your feet, to stay out in front and get across the line first. And it just, whether you're competing in it or watching it in the crowd, like there's just a different energy to the event.
You've got someone right there. It's like you can't not. I can only imagine when you're in singles. There's so much. Maybe you can walk me through this. I always said to you, I'm not going to pretend to ever know what it's like to be an Olympian. You know, I've been a Jewish Olympian. Does that count for the Maccabee Games when I was like 13? But like to do what you do at your level. But I have to imagine when you're training for just regular aerial, being an aerial mogulist, you're locked in on all the things you need to do, those little moments. It's like wildly focused. And then the minute you get to the starting line, you just got to let it go, right? But in duels, you get that extra boost because you're like, oh, I'm going to take this person down. There's an actual tangible human right there who's trying to do the same thing to me. Let's go. Is it like an extra, like, get the fire going?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. In singles, like you're still, the runs the other girls and competitors are putting down and you still want your run to be better. But like, yeah, when you're next to them, when you can, hopefully not see them and they're behind you a little bit, but you can see them, you can hear them, like you have an idea of what's going on with their run, where they're at. It just pushes you to a different level.
Are you kind of excited that it's singles then duels?
Yeah.
Okay, you are.
Yeah, I think duels is going to, I think everyone's going to love it at the Olympics. Just watching on that stage is going to be amazing. And that's a bit how usually our schedule goes is we have singles and then we have duels. And it just, the kind of perfection of the runs is out of the way with singles and can just kind of leave everything out there on the table with duels.
Let's talk a little bit about your trajectory through the Olympics, because there's a whole season and then the Olympics hit. And then I want to talk a little bit about this team, your team that's going together. Because what I've always loved about you, Jay, is yes, it's individual work, but you're not a me, you're a we. You've always been a we to me. And I think that's what makes you incredibly unique to many others that I've stumbled into along the ways. Yes, you want to do the best, you want to do your best, you want to lock it in, but you do love your team. I mean, the irony of deliver the love is you hope the whole team delivers the love when they're there. So let's first start with Third Olympics, because I'm excited that, finally you get to do this again in front of fans after the last Olympics. But take us back to the first Olympics. If you can try to remember what that was really like, what did you love about it? If you could do it again, what would you have done different? Give us a little bit on that.
Yeah, so my first Olympics in 2018, I was, I guess, 21 years old, I think, at the time. And I was going in bib number 1, meaning I was currently, for the World Cup season leading up to the Olympics, currently ranked number 1. Obviously, going in with that bib is, high expectations of, I was a medal, if not gold medal favorite. And whether from people saying that from the outside or, I also believe that going in. And just your first Olympics is such a wild experience of trying to figure out how to handle and deal with everything, and let alone that pressure of being ranked number 1 currently, and kind of figuring out this is the largest stage I'm ever going to compete on. And do I compete like this is a World Cup, or is it different? Do I acknowledge that? And I kind of tried to just pretend it was like another event, just kind of, I could at that time, I guess I probably still can in my career, but put down a top to bottom run, nothing special or crazy about it, and make it to finals and make it to super finals, which is at the Olympics, they take the top 12 into finals, and then top 20, then top 12, then 6, and slowly cut it down each round. And I assume just skiing a solid run that I could make it to the final 6. And then that's when you get to, ski for gold, ski for the medals, and leave it all out there. And I ended up 7th after the round of 12. So I didn't get to ski in the final round and actually leave it all out there. And that was my, like, I don't know if, regret, because I learned so much and took so much from it. But like, that's what I wish I'd done differently looking back on those Olympics of like, it was the Olympics. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I wish that every run I had just left everything out there and not kind of expected to get to the final round. And that was kind of my whole approach moving into the 2022 Olympics was I'd bib 14 on, like, the season wasn't really going that well for me so far. I wasn't really like putting down runs, but that Olympics, I was just, my whole goal was to leave it all out there every single time. And I never wanted to look back up at the hill like I felt like I did in 2018 and think like I had more to give. I have more left in the tank. And every run, qualifying training runs, even like I just, left my whole heart out on the course. And my favorite moment from the 22 Olympics was the round of 12 when I got my score and qualified for the round of 6. And it just felt like I don't know, I did it. Like that was like just such a huge win in itself to be able to make it to the next round, like a little bit of redemption from the Olympics before. And
I've shared with you before that also was my favorite moment. And we're all living our lives, right? Like I'm down in San Diego and Courageous is kind of taken off. And when we stumble into each other, it was probably a few years later that I had an event out here, and I'm like, well, how are you getting sponsors? And we started to, I think that was like the original way we started to catch up again. And I'm like, well, why don't you come out here and talk? And I think Johnny Mosley had spoken out here as well. And I think in that moment, I probably posed up a classic me, which is like, will you humor me? And can I send you homework? And I wasn't trying to be your coach. I was just trying to help. Right. And one of my favorite things that came out of that was that run that you liked it. You didn't love it. And I think if you really think about it, as one of the things that comes out of the coaching program is you have to sort of chart your enemies. And these are not people. These are like moments. And for you, it was like is the enemy of love. Like you shouldn't just like the run you put down. You should love it, right? You don't want to just like the movie. Yeah, I liked it. You want to love it. You don't want to like the person you're with. You want to love them. And I think it started kind of, bad pun, snowballed from there. And we got to like, hey, every time you go do what you do, you got to love it. Let's go deliver the love. And then it gave me a green light to DTL. I could text you DTL, and my hope is it would act as an anchor for you, or just just kind of like level set you wherever you were. That was almost go time. You took it from there, right? And I can see myself still. I think I might have explained this on the last time you were on the show. It's like 4 a.m. to be back in America. There are no fans at your Olympics because of COVID. And I'm just trying not to wake up Randy, my wife, as I'm watching on my phone. And that exact moment that you said for me is like the one where you looked back up the mountain after just trying to get into the medal rounds. Because I felt like in my heart, it was more about you can go live your life now. Like if you, God forbid, you would have hit an 8, right, or 7 or 9, or even if you would have gone for it and it didn't, you wiped out, whatever it was, right? At least you gave it, you went for it, right? And so, but when you come down the mountain into the second to last go and you look up and you see a 1, I might have got a little teary-eyed, I'll admit it. I might have got a little.
I did.
You should. And then you got to do it again, and you come down that hill and you hit a 1. Obviously took home a silver medal. Just, is it like, does it matter? Is it like, can you breathe that you've won an Olympic medal? Do you feel that way for you? This isn't about anybody else. It's just for you.
Yeah, it's definitely like that's a huge like goal of what I set out to in this sport was like whether I like thought I ever would or not, like writing down as a kid, like I want to go to the Olympics, I want to win an Olympic medal. And that's like, it's the pinnacle of our sport. And so to just, know that like I am, if not the best in the world, like I'm one of the best in the world. And I have accomplished, more than I could have ever imagined, like as a kid and setting out in this sport is, it's like a huge sigh of relief.
Does that make it any easier as you go into this Olympics? You've got a job to do, and I know you want to do well. And like I said, we're flying to Milan, and there's a 4-hour shuttle for guys like me to Livigno, and I'm excited that I get to go and support you. I really am. So excited to hang with your fam and get my Jays gear and get going. But does it make it easier, or you're like, no, once I'm there, I got to get locked in and get rolling?
Yeah. I mean, I think to an extent it makes it easier of just like, on like bad training days and whatever days, like I always can remind myself, like, you're an Olympic medalist. Like you've won already. Like you've hit the top, and like it kind of just helps with those days and those times. And I think going into the Olympics of like, regardless what happens, of like, I know I've had an amazing career. I've accomplished so much, but it's a little bit of that too. Or like once we go in, like it doesn't matter what at that point, like of the games, of like, it doesn't matter if I have a medal or not. Like I'm still there to like win and put down my best runs and lock in on that a bit.
Who else is a part of the cheering committee? Who else is heading over there?
Yeah, there's a large cheering committee. All my parents and like closest family friends going over. I have a group of like 4 high school friends that are all going over. Yeah.
Will you see it? Will we see you, or are we not going to even see you? How does it even work?
Yeah, I'll see everyone, I think.
Okay.
Well, it is a little different this time around, like with dual moguls in too, of just kind of adding to our schedule, kind of stretching out like our time there, which usually it's like we have our qualification day and comp day, and then like that's it. And the Olympics are over for you. And so this time we have like a bit more just with 2 events in, but there's time in between. There's like the men's days of competition that I'll be able to hang with people. And
So you're basically, qualifications are on Feb 10,
Mhm.
right? And then the finals are on the 11th?
Yeah.
Or is it just the finals on the 11th, or is it, how does it work? Is it like down to 20 and then 20 to 12 and 12 to 6?
Yeah, so I believe this is what they've done with this schedule in the past, and I think it's the same this year. So we'll have qualifications on the 10th, and they'll take the top 10 from that qualification, and they go to the first round of finals. And then the next day on February 11th is finals day. So basically the rest of the event is run from there. Every athlete who didn't make the top 10 in the first qualification will ski again, and they'll take the top 10 from that. And so then take the top 20 on, cut that to 12 to 6 medals represented.
So that's first day is the 10th, then the 11th is the medal rounds, and then I think 12th is a day off, and then 13th, is that correct? 13th?
The 12th is the men's finals day. So day off for me. I believe the 13th is a training day for duels, and then the 14th and 15th will be the duels competition days. I think the women are on the 14th.
Okay.
Men are the 15th.
Yeah, I sure hope so, because I'm on a shuttle on the morning of the 15th. So I've gotten some pretty direct orders that's what it would be, but I was curious if you get a day off and what happens in those moments. Okay, this is a show about courage, right? So let's have a real quick mental check here. Like right before you drop in, like let's go you're doing what you do. Like when there's no turning back, what does courage actually feel like in your body? And how do you choose to go anyway. Like you're just basically through the first third. You've rocked your moguls. It's time to get some air. Is anything going through your mind? What do you do to get your mind quiet? What does that feel like and look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like kind of once you're in the start gate for that run of you're a bit of like past that point of, deciding and hopefully are like, really like committed to it at that point and committing to your run, your jumps, everything you want to hit in there. There's, I get to that place or my best place just in the Stargate, little like affirmations and, have little cues for maybe it's the top air that I am focusing on a bit more. And so I'll have little cues of like, okay, just let it come up. Just, really strong through the middle, like strong and stacked, or like little cues like that keep me really focused on what I'm trying to do that run and help me like commit to all of those things. I think that sometimes like for me especially, like where I kind of fall back and don't commit is like on the top air, and those cues really help me just to make sure I'm like really committing and doing everything that I want to, at least trying to.
It might be interesting to look at it, and folks, this is Coach Me now jumping in here, not podcast host me. And again, I will honor and quote one of my favorite Peloton riders, which is why I was a little late today, by the way. Dennis, who says, I make suggestions, you make decisions, right? So this is another one of those. But it'd be interesting to think about it like, well, what if the race is 2 races in one, right? So there is no other air other than the first air. Like, does that help you go, this is the only race. I have to get through the first race to qualify for the second race and then rock it to the bottom, right? Does that versus trying to, which is ironic because it's 30 seconds, but like, is it just a 15-second race and then honor that 15 seconds and then you're gifted that second half and you're like, yeah, let's roll. Here we go. Again, I'm getting into Head of Mental's camp, which I am grateful that I think you've read your copy.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
I really liked it. Yeah, it was fun for me to kind of like, obviously it's a lot of kind of business, more typical work life than what I live, but it was fun to kind of like translate and make that like work for my life and job as well.
She's giving the air quotes. Do you have a monster? I'm curious. Do you have a monster? Do you have self-talk?
Yeah.
What does it say to you?
What does my monster say to me? I mean, it's just that like the doubt of everything, of what, and especially like with skiing, of like what could go wrong or what is, yeah.
So what's funny, one of the things that I think you may or may not know this, but my co-authors and I got to go lecture at Harvard a couple weeks ago, which was kind of like my Olympics in some ways. You never expect that they're going to call and take you over there. And Dr. Susie Burke, who's one of my co-authors with Rhett Power, we talk about, she's always been like, name your monster. And so at that moment, my monster, I joked, was actually called Monster. Really creative, Ryan, right? But recently I've realized, oh, my monster is Ice. It's Iceman from Top Gun, because you have the other voice, which is the Maverick, right? And if your brain is pretty much, right, if it's freeze, flight, or fight, and you're trying to help you fight, well, who's the best fighter pilot on the planet? Well, it's Mav. So, I love having the fact that that little voice, which is the monster, it's not so much about doubt. It's just trying to keep you safe. And then, thank you, Iceman, for trying to keep me safe, my monster. But Maverick's coming over the top and going, no, we're going to do it anyway. You're going to feel the pressure and you're going to go. And you've been doing, you've been doing this for the last 15 years. And folks, if, the silver medalist has a monster and has doubt, it's okay for us all to still have that little voice. It's what do you do from there? Now, I have you on a pretty rigorous morning affirmation program. You want to share what we're doing in the AMs? What you're receiving from me?
Yeah, I mean, basically every morning or whatever time of day it is where I am in the world, getting sometimes a quote, sometimes just a kind of uplifting message about kind of, yeah, love and everything for my day.
All right. So let's say we were in a time machine and it's 10 years from now. When you look back at these Olympic days and just competing in general, what do you hope you're the most proud of, regardless of podiums or medals?
Yeah, I mean, even like now, just looking back on like this is my 11th year on World Cup. So looking back to like the start of my career, of it's not the like moments of, maybe the Olympics aside, of like standing on the podium and like getting a medal or award or whatever that like you remember. And so I think like looking back 10 years from now, it's the moments with the teammates, kind of enjoying all of that, like being a good teammate and being a part of, helping create the atmosphere and the energy of the team that is best, and like, yeah, helping lift the rest of the team up, and where we're all like just putting out our best into our runs into the world. And I hope looking back that I feel like I gave my career everything and just, yeah, committed to like what I wanted to do in the sport. And, maybe there's like medals or whatever accomplishments that come along with that. But I think, you, regardless of where you stand in the ranking at the end of the day, like, if you skied how you wanted to or not. Like, if you put it all out there and kind of committed to that or not.
Give me a little color on the team, right? Give me the who's made it. And I also want to know, like, what roles do you each play for each other? Is there like a mama bear and, the youngest child, or how many on the team are going?
Yeah, we have 4 women on the team, competing in both single and dual moguls. It's the same thing, same team for both events. And I mean, overall, like Olympic team, our World Cup ski team, like we have such a fun, amazing group of women on the team. Like we were just talking about this like a week ago, because this last weekend was the final Olympic qualifier event for the rest of the team. And before that, of just the team is just in such a great place of, the Olympics bring a lot of pressure, and not everyone handles that in the best way, and it can bring out the worst in people a lot of the time. And this year, like, I know that, there's girls who didn't make it that are absolutely heartbroken and devastated and wish more than anything they could be on the team, but they're still so supportive of everyone else, still up there at the end of the day, and knowing their Olympic dream this year is out the window, and they're still lifting the other girls up on the podium. And it just is such an, yeah, amazing, like close group of girls right now. And it's really cool.
And so you said 4 are going. Does an
4.
alt go as well, or is it like, or no, or do 4 go and that's it?
I am not sure on the alternate. If there is an alternate that goes, they kind of go separately. So they're not like traveling with the team. They're not going to our Olympic training camp. They're not staying in the village with us.
So you qualified for the Olympics a while back. I mean, that's got to be a little bit of allows you to just focus on skiing and doing your thing. Who are the other 3 going with you on the women's team?
So the other 3 going are Tess Johnson, who was on the 2018 Olympic team as well, Elizabeth Lemley, who is 19 years old in a couple days, and so her first Olympics, and then Olivia Giaccio, who was on the 2022 Olympic team as well.
When you think about the arc, you got a 19-year-old, sound familiar? First Olympics, she can clearly handle herself, but do you find yourself playing like a little bit of the, hey, when I was there, or do you just, what's the relationships like?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see when we actually like get to the Olympics or training camp, and maybe I will, maybe the other girls will take that on of like, because you have three of us who are like returning Olympians and one new Olympian, our first time. And so, yeah, the qualification process kind of just ended. And so I haven't had like, much overlap, or we've all kind of just been home on break for the time being. So we'll see.
All right, we're getting close, right? We're getting close here. What are you hoping? Oh, are you walking in the opening ceremonies? Do you get to walk?
Yes. But it sounds like because this is the first multi-city Olympics, things will be looking a little differently. And so our event, the moguls, a lot of the free ski, slope, half pipe, and I think skier border cross events are all in Livigno, which is a couple hours away from Milan. It's more hours away from Cortina. And so it sounds like for the opening ceremonies they'll kind of have smaller ceremonies in the villages or in the spread out towns. I think a bigger one in Milan, and then somehow that will be incorporated or tied together in the broadcast that people are watching from home. But so there'll be kind of a different sort of opening ceremony in the village that we're in.
So you'll be with the athletes in those sports in your city, versus that's sort of a bummer for you. I mean, look, you got a job to do, right? But there's something special, probably super special about all the athletes in one central place, right? Walking the stadium.
Yeah, that's definitely a highlight from both the 2018 and 2022 Olympics is walking in the opening ceremonies with all of Team USA, and just the energy of that is just so amazing. And walking out into the stadium, I guess in 2022 we didn't see our friends or family are out there, but it's still like you're entering the Olympics as this like collective team, and it's a really, really powerful thing to be a part of. And so yeah, it might feel and look a little bit different this year, but I'm pretty sure my like family has tickets or something to the opening ceremonies in Livigno that I'll be at. So
nice. Is there anyone on the US team not in your sport? You've done this now for a decade, which is wild to think about, right? So you've made some friends. I'm sure you've collided with other athletes in different sports. Is there somebody in another sport that you've been texting with, or that whether you see him or not, you now have a relationship with them from the US team outside of your sport?
yeah, I think there's a lot of, I guess maybe not a lot, a handful of like random athletes from other disciplines that have, just overlapped with a bit more, whether the Olympics or in other Team USA events or whatnot. Yeah.
Anyone you want to share? Any text chains going on? Any like, I got you, go get it? Any of that stuff?
Not yet, but I
All right.
will.
It'll happen. And then in your sport specifically, obviously you're very close with your team. I'm sure you're close with some competitors from other countries too. Like you've gotten to see how they ski. I'm sure there's certain competitors that ski hard like you that you're like, I love how they ski. Is there, my enemy is my friend? Like, is there one or two that you can share the pop that you're like, you just have a special relationship with them and you root for them and they root for you? I know you root for everybody, right? But like, is there anyone in particular that you have just like a special relationship with?
I don't know. There's a few, like, I'm not 100% sure who's even qualified from other countries yet. It's like the qualification is just still being like finalized and set this week. But there's a few, like, I would say our team, like our women's US team, has like a few athletes from kind of random countries that we're like I don't know, always take photos with at the bottom, or like this girl Yang Ya from China, I'm pretty sure is going to the Olympics, which is really cool because she just started skiing in 2018. And like,
Amazing.
yeah, she's someone that we're always like cheering on, taking photos with, having fun down there.
So we have this new platform, right? We have this new that we launched together this year.
Mhm.
You want to share a little bit more about your dreams for that? What it's
Yeah.
called?
Yeah. So we launched Deliver the Love and the Deliver the Love Foundation. And so kind of started as the platform of Deliver the Love, hoping to build into the foundation of kind of sharing my own journey, my own love story for what I do, and kind of what's going on with me. And we launched the foundation at the end of 2025 as well, which is just all about girls and women in sports and just inspiring kind of the next generation of girls through self-love. And yeah.
And, give us a little bit about what that might look like and what your hopes and dreams are for that.
Yeah, my hopes and dreams are, I mean, in the broadest sense of just, to inspire and like uplift girls to fall in love with whatever sport it may be, and just, find what I found in mogul skiing for myself. And sport is an incredibly powerful thing, and especially for young girls in sport, like it has so many benefits, and just want to inspire confidence and self-love through it. And hopefully I see, camps and scholarships and opening up the conversation to talk about anything and everything that we go through as girls and women in sport. And, I really hope that it can turn into a just really powerful and impactful platform.
Well, we always say hope is not a strategy, Jaelin. That is a factual line. It's no hope. You mean you're going to will this to be successful. But although you've got some work to do in the next 15 days or so, 20 days or so. So maybe when we come back. But knowing that you've got the foundation now, does that actually make it like a little lighter to go ski? Because it's like, oh, like you are delivering the love and that helps you amplify the foundation.
Yeah, 100%. And I think also with the foundation of like, I mean, I guess what I've learned through my career is, regardless of how I do, of medals, results, all of that, of like, I've seen that what I do, just going out and skiing and loving and putting my heart and soul into what I do, has inspired a lot of girls and people in the world. And like, it is a really powerful thing. And so it's amazing that I can just kind of keep skiing and doing that, and that is going to have an impact, and not, I think, alone kind of take some weight, some pressure off the shoulders.
So we may have worked together a little behind the scenes on your content strategy for social. It's nice to see. Like my favorite is the lift. I've always loved the lift idea, right? And sort of the double entendre of can we be that lift for people, but doing it from the lift. Have you enjoyed the series so far?
I have enjoyed it. Yeah, I actually filmed a fun one yesterday with Sarah, my brother's girlfriend, when skiing about it, and kind of got into a bit more of a conversation in this one, which was great. And just, it's fun.
I'm curious, what do the DMs look like? Are you getting good response from folks on the lift and on the brand?
Yeah, Skylar's been kind of running that, so I haven't looked too much into it. But I have gone like even on tour, some other girls and people who are kind of starting to see it, and I think it's really cool. I'm excited for it.
Keep it rolling. I like that Skylar, who is her brother, folks, is owning that, so you can stay focused on the right things. Right, we've got some work to do here. All right, Take us through like a quick visualization exercise. When you know, I don't know where you do your visualization, whether it's like a ritual in the AM or, okay, it's right before bed and, you're just kind of thinking about this trip to Italy. Do you run the race in your mind then? Do you sort of visualize? Can you not help yourself, but sort of like, and then how many, is this an every day thing 50 times a day? Is it a night thing? Are you maniacal about it? Like, give me a little color there.
Yeah, I would say that it varies a lot of like last night when I was laying in bed going to bed, just I don't know, your mind kind of wanders and start thinking about it and then start like picturing or thinking about the run, how it feels, just like the run that I want to ski, just kind of going through it. And sometimes it can be like just 10 runs at once and kind of just keep going through it until it's perfect and that's like the run that I want.
What kind of wins out, energy or anxiety?
I think energy. I think usually there's like, I don't know, there's definitely like a bit of anxiety to it of like, and I really try not to kind of think about the rest of it too much of like, if I can just focus on like and visualize and think about my run and that's it, then the energy wins out. It's when you start thinking about the runs other people are doing or what else is happening and, all of that is not in my control at all, that the anxiety kind of steps in a bit.
Well, look, I am curious at this level when everyone is physically elite, right? What is that mental edge you've had to build to separate yourself when the margins are razor thin? Do you just think you've been doing it for so long, and do you still see yourself chasing your older brother down the mountain and that just makes you smile?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is that separates. I think, for as we've talked about a lot on this, but between you and I as well, like just the love for being on the mountain, being in the snow, chasing my brother, family around the mountain, like that's that's the root of it all for me. And so that like just, deliver the love in the start gate and thinking about that is like reminding me of why I'm out there doing what I do. Like, I mean, all the girls are the top girls on tour. Like we've all been on there for 10 years together, some longer than that. Like Perrine, the French girl, went to the 2014 Olympics. Like she's been around quite a bit longer than I have. And so I don't know if like that, there's a amount of time or anything like that I'm like, oh, I've put in more, I've been around longer, but I do, I guess, have a lot of confidence in myself as a competitor. Like I know that I am a skier and I am a competitor and can be pretty good a lot of the time at tuning out the rest of the world and just, competing and trying to put down my run the best I can.
Yeah, I'm so excited to watch you go live and honored to get to go be part of the family. And I feel part of the tribe. I feel part of the family. I want to share my Micah, who you've met, who's, by the way, did learn how to kneeboard from you and your family. Let's be clear. He has a very big celebration this Saturday where I have to give a speech. And one of the things I'm sharing with him, because this will be after that, so I can say it now. I want to share with you, and I do think it's kind of speaks to our relationship too. I'm not just proud of you; I'm impressed by you. There's a big difference between those two. I mean, I am proud of you, but I'm more impressed by you that you put in the work and that you allow people like me to come in with the greater good of helping you go do what you do. And let's be clear, like it's you who does what you do, not me. I don't know how much FaceTime I'll get with you when we're there. My job is to sort of stay out of the way, if I'm really honest, so you could just lock in and be you. But just the fact that I get to be there and celebrate you, because that's really all it is a celebration at this point of all the hard work you've put in over the last decade. Now together we get to help others deliver the love. Who knows what that's going to look like? Have a blast. Go have a blast. And I'll see you soon after my planes, trains, and automobiles of flying. I think it's 3 flights and a shuttle. And I'm just, you talk about great teams. I'm surrounded by a great team here at Courageous that can actually let me go do that and enjoy being there in the moment for you and watching you do what you do. So let's go. Let's go have some fun, right?
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that. It's also like, yeah, I guess I'm the one out there skiing and competing at the end of the day, but I'm definitely not doing it all by myself, and I haven't gotten to this point and been able to do what I do without huge crew, huge team of people backing me, supporting me, giving me, everything along the way. And you've been a big part of that over the last
God, who knows how long.
whatever it's been now. And yeah, I'm excited to you're going to be down there at the course as well this year.
All right, go get them. Congrats. We're all rooting for you. What do you need from us right now? Where can people learn more about Deliver the Love, and where can they find more about you?
Yeah, for anything about me, anything about Deliver the Love, JaelinKauf.us, and the foundation and love stories and everything else is on there.
Any quick shout outs to the fam?
Yeah, always quick shout outs to the fam. They're also, my mom and Skylar have been a huge part of getting this off the ground and up and running. And yeah.
Can I buy swag now on the site, or when can I buy swag?
I don't know. My mom is working on that.
All right, you do you. You go ski. We'll figure out the swag
Hopefully
situation.
the next couple weeks, they'll be before the Olympics. I think my mom and probably Skylar to help with the, technology side of things will figure out how people can buy swag online.
All right, go ski your courageous race. Go deliver some love. Go get them. We're so proud of you and impressed by you. See you soon. See you over there. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Courageous Podcast. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts so more people can find us. See you again next week.